All right, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to technically day number 3 of USC 2024 round of 32 week. We have a lengthy block ahead of us, and we're going to be getting started in the top half of the bracket. 16 versus 17 seed matchup, Michigan versus Colorado. I'm this one guy. Joining me is my longtime colleague, Chillier Pair. Good afternoon, Chillier, and welcome. How's it going?
Afternoon. First cast of USC that I'm here for, at least, this weekend. Like you said, day 3 of 5, actually, today for matches this weekend. And we've got some fan favorite states here today. We got 2 long-time participating teams in United States Cup on the board right now with Michigan and Colorado. Now, Michigan missing a couple of the star figures that we've seen from them in the past this year, while still retaining some of their existing roster. Obviously, missing players such as Fees, Consumer of Bean this year, some name brand players, and of course Colorado without I'm a Fancy Lad this year for the first time in quite a while.
Fancy Lad didn't play last year either, sorry.
In quite a while.
He didn't play last year either.
2 years is a long time.
Yeah, definitely some turnover for both of these rosters, though. Michigan, several new faces, bringing in Hyped Diamond, bringing in Relaxed Nate. I'm trying to think, where the heck was Michigan? Darkstrap, Tricky Pugster, Blendra, all on the team last year as well. So bringing back 3. Area returns from a bit of an absence after having been on the team in the past. So very interested to see, how this new roster kind of gels between some new and some old members. Colorado, I will be honest and admit that I know literally nothing about Jella, Marie, or Justice. I apologize, but they are people that I am just completely unfamiliar with. So we'll be learning today, I suppose.
We will be learning. This pool has a lot of very polarizing map slots that I think will make it very obvious early on who is good at what, depending on even where we sit with the bans right now. Obviously, I feel like there's always one team per match that kind of goes the gimmick ban way and the one that goes the speed ban way, because I feel like those are the 2 most polarizing skill sets. So you kind of go half and half on that. Whatever team thinks they're worse will go for it, or maybe sometimes both teams just don't want to touch one or the other. So very, very interesting options here in this match. And we've got, I would say, fairly even rosters here, especially being the 16-17 seed matchup here. On paper, this is technically the most even matchup of the weekend, and given the players that we have on both teams this year, I think that might be in practice as well.
Yeah, I was looking at this matchup, and I'm obviously going to be a little biased toward Michigan. It is my home state, but it is hard to determine a serious favorite. It's almost surprising to me. We do like rank seeding instead of doing qualifiers like a lot of tournaments. Just historically has been how USC always works, and you still do end up with some very good matchups. This is a 16-17 that I think really looks like it on paper with the rosters that these teams have assembled. So we will get to see. Obviously, this is match number 6 of the week. No upsets as of yet. We have had one tiebreaker with Oregon emerging victorious over Kansas in that bizarre match. 5-3 for Arizona over Wisconsin in the first match of the week as well. So a couple of close ones, followed by some sweeps. You had the NorCal, SoCal both sweeping their opponents. So, we'll see. Colorado looking for the first upset, and an upset, technically, but Is it really 17 over 16? Does that really count as an upset?
I don't know, honestly. I feel like it kind of does in most, like, I still do feel like that is an upset, but, you know, Michigan is a team that I think very often in round of 32 and round of 16 in United States Cup has kind of caught some unlucky matchups because they're always to the middle seeded area, like, every year. So, you know, I think that this is their opportunity to finally kind of rock out that round of 32 win here and, you know, push themselves to the winner's bracket in the round of 16. You know, they, again, very, very rough years a lot of the time. I think they have played, God, I want to say they've played Massachusetts in, like, round of 16 2 years in a row before this year, which was, like, kind of a rough matchup before, you know, this year. So this is their opportunity, right? You know, show everyone what they're made of here. Going up against a team like Colorado that is pretty strong alongside them is, you know, quite the interesting scenario for them. And, you know, we've got a big day, honestly, ahead for them here. We got a lot of US matches happening right now, like, alongside this one, by the way. We have, like, the NAT Grand Finals or something happening right now, and the US is, like, on the verge of winning CWC right now, so big day for the United States. Huge stuff. Unfortunately, nobody from Michigan or Colorado. Actually, no, there might be a Michigan participant in Catch World Cup. I may stand corrected, actually. So I think this might be a huge day for Michigan if they are able to win their United States Cup match as well.
Sadly, as a non-minigame player, I cannot speak to Michigan presence or not on that CWC team, but
I'm looking right now. I'm checking.
It would be cool. It would be cool if so. I don't. We've never had an OWC player. We never had a 3WC or 4WC player that I'm aware of either. So it's something, right?
Michigan absolutely has a 3 CWC catch player too. Maybe they do. I don't know. It looks like good stuff.
Our referee is struggling here.
Unlucky.
Rob is having some issues. But yeah, Michigan. So last year, Michigan, 5-1 defeat at the hands of Massachusetts in round of 32. Would go on to beat Arkansas 5-0 in losers round 1, and then got swept 6-0 by Oregon in losers round 2. Colorado, for their part, beat Arizona, one of 2 upsets in round of 32 last year. Colorado over Arizona is the 20 versus the 13 seed, 5-2 win there. Lost to SoCal 5-1 in round of 16. Beat Illinois 6-3 in losers round 2, and then lost 6-1 to Carolina in losers round 3. So a little bit more success for Colorado last year than for Michigan, but not by a huge margin, just 1 round farther that they got. This team has historically been very reliant on Fancy Lad. I mean, we kind of talked about this last night, as, you know, a lot of the best players in the United States end up on the best teams, right? You've got history, you know, Toy, Fiery, Idke, Vaxei, Utami, all from California. You know, you have Rectagon from Virginia, who won last year. You know, Digital Hypno and Co. in Florida. And then you had Fancy Lad. You had Ariu Kablaze, Utsuha, etc. on Ohio. And then you had Fancy Lad stuck in Colorado, who was like the best player to not be on a very strong state team. Was always a bit of a tragedy.
Yeah, that was always a rough one. I feel like that was kind of the same thing with, like, Texas for a long time, with the Praxia being, like, when Texas was, like, they were a good team, but they weren't, like, star power, I feel like. So I don't know how to feel about a lot of those, you know, rocking up here. I think we've got some over, like, who else am I thinking of right now? Like Taquito in New York, back before New York was, like, a #1 capable team as well. I feel like that list just keeps getting longer and longer the more you think about it, too. And I'm sure there are more that just, like, never ended up being able to show up for United States Cup as well, which just, you know, kind of happens. You know, like, Arison never came out for United States Cup because who is Maine going to put together for a roster?
Yeah, I don't know that Maine's even never had a single sign-up, like, in the history of USC.
Yeah.
He's really about the only one that comes to mind that's like a historically great American player that was from a state that never had a USC roster.
Had nothing at all.
I'm trying to think of like what other top players historically never played USC.
I mean, it has to be like post 2017 people too. So like,
Oh, here, let's just.
I don't know who could have possibly never. I mean, like Topoi never played.
Oh,
United States Cup.
Freddie Benson was on Washington teams in the past, but I think he like didn't play. He is on the New York team this year. Now that he's moved. Has Reused ever played USC? I'm just looking at the current USA rankings.
I mean, I know like Topoi never played USC.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He was on
What?
USC. He was on Michigan. Topoi is from Michigan.
I know, but did he?
Yeah,
ever
he
play?
played. He played. Yeah, he played a few years ago.
Oh wow, long time ago.
Yeah. Jesus.
I don't
This
know. I feel like I never saw him. I mean, he's never been a big tournament guy, I guess. So it's kind of tough when you play like one tournament a year. Yeah, I can't think of many like huge names, I guess, that never played United States Cup.
Do you have any idea who Board Yes is?
Board.
They're rank 110 global, USA rank 16, and I've never seen this name before in my life.
And that's not a name change.
If it is, they removed previous names.
That is not someone I have ever heard of before. No.
Let's see what Twitch chat has to say on the matter.
I don't know who Board Yes is.
They're from SoCal. Well, yeah, of course they are, because I would like to know what percentage of the United States OSU player base is from California. It's a big number.
It's a big state.
They have so many OSU players there. I mean, we've had discussions in the past, like, you could have made an OWC team that would win OWC from California only, like, in certain years in the past.
Yeah, the rank number 44 player in the US is from Hawaii.
Oh, that's actually kind of sick.
TTV UFO.
Oh!
T player.
What's interesting is I don't know what their actual state of residence is. I was given information that allowed me to believe that they are indeed at least living in Florida, as insofar as they are signed up for and playing for Florida in this tournament, but they have a Hawaii flag with the extension. So I'm not entirely sure what the story is with that.
Maybe like on the college train or something, like a lot of other people are maybe right now,
Yeah,
I'm like half the New York roster is only there for college, like.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but like it would be unlike the people I know from Florida to lie about somebody's state of residence, So
that's a pretty restricted state server. Yeah, like that is.
Yeah, Florida's not that restrictive. Anybody can get into the Florida server. I'm in the Florida server. Shit.
It seems like it's not as open as like some states are like really open in terms of like community for that sort of thing. So I don't know how I would put that. Either way, I feel like it's kind of in the spirit of USC. You really don't see people like fully just doing that, like going to other random states, because it's always either like school or work or something else, like moving around. Like there's always something. And we are finally at our second.
No,
through the second warm up.
I was gonna say I think there's just not going to be a second warm up because Colorado didn't send theirs.
Yeah, I saw traps come on and I was like, oh, that was the second warm up.
Yeah, that's just no mod 1, bro. That is just no mod 1.
I love no mod 1.
Michigan first. Wait, Michigan first picked traps? That does not seem like a Michigan map. I'm not gonna lie.
Where is consumer of beans?
Yeah, right. Where's consumer? No, I think this is like. So how this goes for Michigan is Blendra and Dark Scrap play a lot of stuff, and then you fill in depending on the type of map with like, Tricky Pugs are on heavy mechanics, you fill in with area and mechanics tapping stuff, you fill in with Nate and Diamond on, a couple things here and there. So I'm assuming this is just like Blendra Dark Scrap +1, which may just be Tricky Pugster. He is, I believe, the highest ranked player in Michigan right now. Um, dude's like, dude is currently ranked 24 USA, rank 134 global. So pretty solid stuff there.
Everyone should give a big congratulations to the United States for their first ever first place finish in Catch World Cup.
Yo, let's go.
First place after getting second for like a lot of years for them. That is the second U.S. podium finish in a World Cup of this year. Can we go for 4 USA on top? It's possible. We could go for 4 podium finishes this year. I think it's possible. Blendra is playing the incorrect map.
Blendra's still playing the warm-up. Yeah,
So.
Blendra's still playing the warm-up.
All right, there we go. Let's check it. Let's see who the real... I don't know if I would say the reading players are. Maybe who the practicers are maybe in this match.
Yeah,
practicers?
Who's better at this map? Is it a person who is a good reading player that didn't practice it, or a person who's an average reading player that did practice it?
I'd say practice on this one. The rhythms are not super complex, which means that I don't think that reading players have an inherent advantage on this map. I think it's just kind of like old-ish style. So couple practices on this one, runs on this, and I think you're in the clear if you are at least like semi-competent for overlaps. But right now, Tricky Pugster going to be the one on top with Justice, as I voice crack at the age of 23.
I heard that. I heard that. It is Tricky Pugster and Justice indeed. 91 and 87 AC. Yeah, this... I don't know why this map needed to be OD10, but this map is OD10. For some reason.
Rough axe here.
Crestive and Marie are building up some combo, as are Blender and Darkscrap. There goes Crestive, so Michigan advantage. It's about a 60k score lead. Tricky Pugster ahead of Justice by a small amount thanks to the AC lead, but there goes Blender to fall. Darkscrap matching Marie, and we're just dead even combo-wise.
It's AC lead for Michigan right now. Every player above 90% at Colorado, with 2 players that are starting to push up to 90%. Luckily, Justice still on that full combo, but Marie, I don't know how they want that.
I think it's just Marie.
Marie dropping a few combo breaks there, going to leave Michigan once again in the lead. Crestive matching Blendra, but Darkscrap untouched, and as Crestive drops now, it's Justice to hold down the full combo right now, but as long as Tricky Pugster sits right alongside them, this is going to go to Michigan, albeit in a close fashion.
Yeah, there's the break from Crestive and Justice, and that was that FC gone now. And with the act down at 90%, Tricky Pugster, Blender both break right after. It is actually going to be Nevermind.
Ooh.
It would have been combo lead with Marie, and it is not anymore. And now it's just nobody anywhere with any combo. It's Darkscrap at 120 doing the best he can. And Michigan, I think, has done enough at this point. 100k lead and a little bit more with multiple breaks in the ending section here for Colorado.
Yeah, clean start from Michigan here on their own pick. Not the most confident ever, but definitely enough of a gap in the 3v3. Well over 100,000 score. Solid into the ending. You got a feel for Colorado, though. That break on Justice would have determined the fate of this map for Colorado there. I mean, look at that. 200,000 score difference at the end, and it's pretty even on almost all slots there. Michigan just better overall across the board there. Tricky Pugster with the top score in the lobby by about 80,000 over Justice. The only A rank in the lobby as well. 0 misses.
You know, Tricky Pugster was a reading player. I didn't.
Is this another player that has like the speed reading overlap? Like,
I normally think of him as like, you know, just a kind of like 10.3 aim player, like, you know, TV size aim player type of, that's like the stuff that I usually see him farming. But I think, you know, the thing is, right, when you get to a certain level of skill cap, you can learn to do just about anything in the game. Like, if you have aim good enough to be top like 200, 150, you can probably develop other skill sets because you have the ability to, you know, understand where your cursor is on the screen. Everything else can flow from there.
I agree. Do you remember when, like, I remember when Utami, like, first appeared in, like, super big tournament world? Remember how bad he was at Hard Rock and then like slowly just got better over time.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's kind of the thing, right? Yeah, you're right. Where, you know, if you just work at it enough, eventually it'll come to you. So I think that's kind of like the closest parallel to this, where it's like, all right, yeah, you couldn't touch this, but now you're like rocking it out. I almost feel like MREC was kind of there for a little while as well. Like MREC was kind of rough at a lot of mods and is now the best at most mods in tournaments. So damn skill cap, man. It's boss rush time, which means that skill cap be damned. Can you hold your own and not slider break? This is top 2 most slider breakable maps of all time, especially the top diff of this set. Also extremely slider breakable. This one becomes more slider breakable because of the hidden. Must aim.
Yeah, this is the Nomad 1 of like 6-star tech maps. Very
Yeah.
very basic, realistically, as far as quote-unquote tech goes. This is not too complicated in any way. So this has felt like a map where if you can avoid slider breaking, as you mentioned, on like the kick slider jumps, you are probably going to be fine.
Aim map moment.
Aim map. Aim map.
Aim map.
Aim map.
Slider aim map.
Take me back to 2018 tech maps, bro. Modern slider vomit is not my favorite thing. So we got Blunder, Tricky Pugster, Typed Diamond, Cinnamon Twist, the artist formerly known as Spoodermain, Venpris, and Crestive. So these are the like kind of retained members of this Colorado roster.
This is the star roster for Colorado here. This is going to be their top performing set here. I think that you know, with Colorado, as long as they're able to lock in their own picks here, I think this match could go back and forth between these two. You know, Michigan, a lot of good players, but Colorado, a lot of seasoned USC players as well, especially on players like Crestive, who have been here for a very long time. We've got early breaks on both sides and a follow-up break on Michigan. Another one, Type Diamond really going to be struggling here on this map. If you're finding breaks at this beginning section, then it doesn't get any easier.
Yeah, he broke on that, like, the first cut stream, which is understandable, but then multiple misses after that on just the kick slider jumps, which is definitely not what you want to see. There goes Blunder on that little cut quad. That's not what you want to see either if you're Michigan. Tricky Pugster, the only FC left. Meanwhile, double FC on Venpris and Crestive. Cinnamon Twist has recovered as well. And this is going to end up going pretty heavily in favor of Colorado here, even with that break from Crestive. Oh, wait. Okay,
Whoa.
There goes Venpris as well. Blunder falls too. But it's Tricky Pugster and Type Diamond against Cinnamon Twist alone, which means that is an FC and a decent recovery combo against a recovery combo on its own. I don't know if there's going to be enough time, though. I think Michigan would still need more help.
Yeah, Cinnamon Twist can hold this down as long as they maintain some combo into the ending here. The gain is not going to be enough, and with Type Diamond finding a break there, it's just Tricky Pugster against Cinnamon Twist with only about 100 combo of difference. That is certainly not enough to make up 200k difference here. And Colorado going to be taking their first pick by about the same margin that Michigan took their first pick by. It's going to be about 200k between the two teams right now, almost to the dot again into the ending. Yeah, look at that. Only 4,000 score under the 200k gap. That's almost even on those between these two teams. I actually want to see how close that was between the, yeah, 208k gap on the first map and 196k on this one. So very, very similar performances from the picking team on their opening picks. And we've got a match ahead of us now. Michigan gonna go for their response to Colorado, taking that first point as well. Really good act across the board on Colorado. Single-digit hundreds, basically on everyone except for Cinnamon Twist, who barely went one over, but had the best play on their team.
That's an interesting situation. Crestive with the 300s, 150, but also 3 misses to go with them. Meanwhile, Tricky Pugster on the 400s, 1 miss, 850k.
One miss on Venpris too.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's a map that could have gone any which way. You know, if Blunder had a slightly better score. I feel like 6 misses, respectfully, is more misses than you should really have on that map. So that's definitely an underperformance compared to expectations for anyone to wind up with 6 misses on that one. You'd expect, maybe a miss or two and like a slider break or something at most. But it is what it is, and Colorado takes the point on their own first pick, which, you would kind of expect and you want.
Yeah, good stuff for both teams. I think both of these maps could have gone either way, Michigan's pick and Colorado's, which I think is going to make for a pretty exciting match down the line, especially as these confident picks start to whittle down a little bit. And, maybe we get some maps thrown out towards the ending of the match here that maybe aren't going to be confident 200K gaps for these two teams. You never know. In a best of 9, there's really not a whole lot of room for error. Luckily, for both sides, there has been no error thus far. Michigan gonna try and be the next one to continue this train. Again, best of 9, especially once you get past like 4 picks in, losing a break point at that point is massive for either of these teams. So, if we see Michigan take their pick here and Colorado take theirs, and then something happens on the next 2 picks after that, then we're maybe in for an interesting time here.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what Michigan opts into here with their own second pick to find out if any early breakpoint may be forthcoming. It's going to be DT1. I think this is our first DT1 pick of the week. And indeed it is. So DT1, the seal has finally been broken. And with that, all picks in the pool have now been played. You'll love to see it.
Nice.
And it's interesting that this took so long. This is a pretty basic, fairly easy, like straightforward type of map.
Yeah, this is kind of just generic, like triples speed aim map. Very comfortable overall. Don't know how I feel about the Marami Pop version of the song. That's personal opinion. Doesn't matter. Also, it's Bad Apple, so it's a jam.
Bad Apple slaps.
Bad Apple's a good song. It's a great song. We've got... I don't know where the... I want to say speed advantage to Michigan because of Tricky Pugster, but Colorado also has Crestive. So, unfortunately, I know slightly less about the other players. Blender, a good DT player as well. I think Michigan
area is really good at this. Area is really good at this kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like historically, has been super solid on like high-ish BPM DT stuff.
Yeah, I'm thinking Michigan just roster-wise looks like they seem to have the advantage right now. But you never know. I would unironically say that like of the first 2 names that pop out to me for Tricky Pugster and Crestive has traditionally been slightly more consistent across the board in United States Cup. But, I think being Michigan's own pick right now still gives them a bit of an advantage there, despite the fact that maybe the star power will be even on the top here. Slow intro to this map, though. It does take a little while to get into the sections of this map where you can really start to find breaks. So, it'll be interesting to see where the first few misses come out, if and when.
I feel like if you're going to miss in this, it's almost due to like a lapse in concentration as much as anything else, because it's a decently long map that's never really like hard. You're not sitting and waiting for a diff spike like with bated breath staying 100% locked in the entire time. This more or less stays a fairly consistent difficulty. And so, I don't know. Who's the most able to concentrate, who's the most consistent in this lobby will determine the outcome. And part of that, I think, is going to be interesting to watch as Jula finds the first break for Colorado. Players who are in a lot of tournaments versus players who are not in a lot of tournaments. You see Blunger in a decent number of tournaments. You see Pugster in a decent number of tournaments. Not so much Area, and to my knowledge, not so much Jula either, out of the members of this particular lobby.
Yeah, this is very, very close in terms of, overall performance right now, despite the break coming out from Colorado. Only 1 miss at this juncture in the map is still turnable, especially with only 100K difference between the 2 teams. I am not seeing a particularly massive accuracy lead, although it is in the favor of Michigan with every player above 98 right now. And Jula finding a second break there, unfortunately, is going to solidify Michigan's lead right now very heavily. And now, the first break doesn't matter quite as much, but now being down 700 combo, that's... Ooh, and Cinnamon Twist, there it goes. That's going to be huge Michigan advantage right now.
Yeah, that's going to be brutal. Halfway mark to lose a second FC out of your 3 is not going to be good. Michigan still holding the 3-way. see if they can get through this little bursty section okay in this Ki. That's going to be big for the program if they can do it. Building combo into the 2/3 mark as those scores start to get really big. And this is well done. There's going to be Blendroid. It is the first break to come out for Michigan, but Tricky Pugster and Area still in the FCs. Crestive, the lone FC for Colorado. Jula and Cinnamon Twist both holding some amount of recovery combo, but they've got their work cut out for them. Michigan with a 400k lead.
Well, right now, not really an opportunity for a turnaround. Michigan gonna have this one pretty locked in here, doubling the score gap of the previous 2 maps, over 400,000 scored, maybe 500k. Oh boy, the shake.
Shaking so much.
The round of 32 shakes go crazy.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, homie. Just open up the scoreboard. You're fine.
Yeah, you're up by 400k. It's okay, bro.
It is okay.
Oh man.
It's gonna be just Crestive, it looks like, to bring the FC in for Colorado right now. Kind of as expected. Again, Crestive and Pugster are the two that I kind of called out for the big names to look out for on this map. Area also matching up with those two. Crestive gonna have the top score here.
Area missed the ending!
Oh boy.
Area missed the ending!
That's a crazy place to miss.
He did the... Oh, I can't... Yeah. Like, somebody was going to miss the ending. It was going to happen.
It had
Just
to happen.
a shame that it's Area. Tricky Pugster, though, does close out the FC, as does Crestive. Blunder with the S rank. I think that's a 1-slider break. All right, well, it's a good win for Michigan, 540k, but man, Area, oh, that's so sad.
This is, again, ideal scenario for Michigan right now. If Colorado's able to win their own pick right now, it will be ideal scenario for both teams. We have plenty of maps left in the pool, plenty of players to pick from, and it's going to be a hidden pick from Colorado going into Symmetric. So it's going to be some like light tech flow aim hidden here. Very interesting to see who the hidden roster is going to be for both teams right now.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan runs like this roster, I think, that's in right now. Maybe Area comes in for Dark Scrap, but I mean, it could just be this 3, and I think it's fine. Colorado, I don't know. Crested Marie and Venpers? Does Venpers play hidden? I don't know.
I am not entirely sure who's got the big advantage on this map. I feel like in a lot of matches you do have a standout hidden player on at least one of the teams, and while there are good hidden players on both sides here, I don't know if I really personally see a standout hidden player. Like, oh yeah, this person plays hidden on literally everything. It is their mod, like, through and through. So I'm interested to see what happens on this map. Now, I'm going to very quickly reference some of the other players to make sure that there are no hidden players in this match to that extent. I mean, like, Crestive and... Oh, Venpris. Okay, Venpris. Okay, that's who I was forgetting. I would say Venpris is probably the one that, like, is the hidden person on this.
I mean, I will say I did mention Venpris. I did say his name.
I would like to mention that I did not hear you say that. Because I was being neg-pinged. But that is the name. That's the one. Right there. That could be the gambit for Colorado on the hidden pick. And honestly, if they win this hidden pick by a large enough margin, I don't believe hidden 2 is banned. I did not see a hidden ban come out from either of these teams, so we may be able to see Harlequin as well. Double up here. We grab some extra.
Yeah, double hidden for whoever wins this.
Yeah.
Basically, a very different hidden maps. So I mean, you can't really like guarantee that one will be picked if the other is picked. They're not at all similar, but
I mean, they're both kind of flow aimy.
This one is a little more. I guess this is like slider flow aim versus stream flow aim.
I mean, this is more simplistic too. There's rhythm changes in Harlequin as well, so
early break from from area, by the way. Just I mentioned that, so Colorado early lead.
Very early, but necessary. It's a short map, Symmetric here. Already a quarter of the way through. Any combo breaks here will make quite a bit of difference. We will have a big break section coming up right after this part, but Blender is going to break in this kind of aim-heavy section right here. Area, once again, going to find another break. Tricky Pugster all alone in their endeavor right now for Michigan, as Colorado has an extremely strong trio. Three-way FC into the halfway point in the map, and that may potentially just be shutting Michigan out right now. That is an exceptional performance from these three on Colorado. Crestive with great accuracy. Painted Koala not too far behind Injustice. A little bit below 98, but going to get it back here as we come into the final Ki. There is a little bit more to break on at the ending here, as Crestive does find a drop. It's Tricky Pugster to go up against the double FC on Colorado right now. Area and Blender trying to put up some supporting combos right now. Quarter of the way left to go, and it's still just the one break from Colorado. Crestive with some of the smoothest aim I have ever seen in my entire life. Man, that was clean. But a huge score gap for Colorado into the ending of this map, and Michigan can simply do nothing about this. Venpress and Justice going to be bringing this one in.
Yes, we started out with the two relatively close picks, 200K on both, and we're going to go back-to-back 500K victories with the team's second picks. The DT1 539K in favor of Michigan, and here the hidden one is going to be, wow, even more than that, 800K almost in favor of Colorado. So the second picks even better than the first picks for both these teams, 2-2, and really no opposition found for the teams on their opponent's picks. Right, that was just never a map that Michigan was in. Yeah, Tricky Pugster had the FC, but when it was against a double FC and a very solid score from Crestive. Meanwhile, Blendra and Area just did not have the greatest time there.
Well done.
So yeah, the skill sets kind of showing themselves here as being fairly different between these two rosters so far.
Maybe going a little bit more to the techie side of things. If you are Colorado, Michigan, definitely the speed favored team in this pool. Now, unfortunately for both of these teams, you really only have, especially if we're looking at the skill sets that they have won by large margins, there's really only one map left for each team of those skill sets left. So there is still opportunity to capitalize for both Michigan and Colorado right now. But after that point, we are still left with that final map before match point is reached. So not a whole lot of distance to take if you're trying to capitalize on those known skill sets now, but there is a little bit of the way to push through this match, and hopefully the two teams can take some comfort in knowing that maybe each of them have a guaranteed point left on the board to keep this even for one more cycle of maps here. But again, best of 9 leaves only 5 points to win, and it's one more map for each side to be one away from match point. And tiebreaker slowly looks more and more likely as these two teams start to split apart on their scores for their own picks.
We will, though, need to see where they go with this next pick. I feel like best of 9, it's picks 5 onward. Best of 11, it's picks 6 onward. Best of 13, it's picks 7 onward. Assuming not a sweep. That things really do start to get a little bit more interesting because you're like a point or two away from match point, which means you lose your own pick here. If you're Michigan, Colorado then has a pick to go up match point, that sort of thing. Like you're just edging closer and closer. And it's going to be the free mod 2 pick that Michigan's going to opt into here. Going, more kind of aim mechanics, which is a little bit similar to what they did with DT1, which is aim and some bursts. This also is, hey, guess what? It's aim and some bursts. This is 220 BPM. That one is 204 BPM, so obviously a bit faster. But Michigan's still going to say, we'll go ahead and go with this particular type of mechanics option.
Is big mechanics days for Michigan. And I think that's kind of what we saw off of that DT pick, right? For Bad Apple, it was less the speed gambit because it is round of 32 and there's not really speed in this pool. It's just DT. It is that mechanics gambit right there as well. Unfortunately for Michigan, they did lose Boss Rush, which is mechanics in the sense that it's aim. That could have been a pretty big point opportunity for them, but, maybe trying to reel things back in here for Michigan is a good opportunity for them. I do worry just a little bit for Michigan on this pick because the mechanics map that Colorado did win against them was an aim pick in Boss Rush. It's different aim than in Hakone Hakoiri here, and you do need mod players, and that's always the big difference here, especially in the United States Cup, right? You need that hard rock player, you need that hidden player, and we know Colorado and Michigan both have the hidden player, but we really haven't seen much from hard rock yet. So that could be the difference.
And I'm not actually sure who's going what with this Michigan roster. I assume it's Blundra hidden, which would probably imply to me that it's Tricky Pugster on HR, and then Nate on the Nomad, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, you want your best mechanics player on hard rock, right?
Yeah. But I think hopefully we'll be getting ready. Some GLHF seen in chat, so I gotta think we should be getting good to go here.
I just tuned into NAT by accident. The United States may unfortunately not be bringing this year home.
So after years of heartbreak, Zudi's finally gonna win NAT after being denied by USA players for like the last 4 years straight.
She is currently up 6-2.
Oh, poor Pez.
Poor Pez. Pez did a great job this year.
He's had such a good run in that bracket. Holy crap.
Yeah.
What, 7-2 over?
He for New York.
He beat like 7-2 over Taquito and then 7-4 over Window Life and 7-6 over Silas.
His matches have just been getting closer and closer until he hit the Canadians, and then it's just like, oh boy. Canada moment.
Zudi's really good. I mean,
Zudi is freaking great at this game.
She's been like, what? Grand Finals lost to Utami. Grand Finals lost to Rectagon. If she ever lost to Fancy Lad in a Grand Final, but it wouldn't surprise
me. She did,
that happened too.
Sure it happened.
All she had to do was wait for all of those guys to not be playing anymore. That sounds more negative toward her than I mean it to be. But
everyone needed to retire from the US.
Those skill sets just didn't match up well for her. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Anyway, in we're gonna go, and mods as expected. It's double hard rock for Colorado. Jula and Cinnamon Twist, both on hard rock. Painted Koala, aka Venpress, gonna be the hidden player over there. And yeah, Tricky Pugster hard rock and Blunder hidden Nate, no mod for Michigan. We'll see if the overmod pays off for Colorado. It's been a little hit or miss for teams so far this weekend, going overmod here and there.
Well, very expected compared to your predictions on the mods there. Tricky Pugster and Blundra on Michigan for the mods. We actually have an overmod for Colorado. Cinnamon Twist and Jula both more confident with the hard rock evidently than no mod, which is quite the bold play from the Coloradans in this matchup here. Painted Koala on that hidden now, and very, very interesting big jump section coming up right now. This is that next spike before the ending. Relax Nate, almost note locking actually. I just saw a shake. Oh, Jula, no!
Michigan take the advantage 2/3 of the way through. Exactly what they needed was a miss from somebody on Colorado, and that hard rock. Maybe I don't think that was a miss due to hard rock, but it was a miss on a hard rock player. And now we just have the last quarter of the map. Michigan up by 200k, which barring late misses should be good enough, especially Jula breaking in. There goes Nate to trade it, but it's Pugster and Blundra still holding on. Venpress and Cinnamon Twist doing their best, but a double FC against a double FC. Wait a minute, Blundra late miss? It's not gonna be time, not gonna be time.
Yeah, it's big score gap.
It's going to be close, but it's not going to be time. That's going to end up being about a 200k win when all is said and done in favor of Michigan. Those breaks just a bit too late. Tricky Pugster, well done on the full combo. The double FC is there from Venpress and Cinnamon Twist, so it's unfortunate, but the difference really comes down to Nate at 800k versus Jula at 587.
Yeah, it was just, that halfway miss is so crippling in aim maps, especially on Score V2. So, You know, we used to say, I remember back in like, 2020, 2021, oh, I missed halfway through No Mod 1, bye-bye. Like, that's very reminiscent of that aim style here. And Michigan just barely pulling it out with a better team score overall, despite the fact that Colorado had a double FC. How does that work? Peppy, please explain.
The same sort something similar happened earlier in Perennial. There was a match where they played Nomad 6, and one of the teams 3-wayed it against the other team, either 1 or 2-way FCing it, but their 4th player got like 400k, so they lost.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the team with like Henry and worst HR player, their match. That was the one map that they lost. So, it's unfortunate, but I mean, that can be the effect of one player struggling a little bit too much. And we're going to go into another free mod. It's going to be free mod 3, next pick for Colorado.
It is. You know what? The old map from Colorado, I respect it. This is gonna go kind of crazy.
This is our anti-mod pick, as people like to call it. CS5AR8 for these teams. I don't know, strictly speaking, who or what this favors for these particular rosters. I mean, we obviously did see Colorado winning that Hidden 1 pick. We haven't seen anything else to really... We haven't seen anything to really compare this to, so this is quite up in the air, I feel. Possible rosters in the lobby. We've got Dark Scrap, Type Diamond, and Blundra, Marie, Crested, and Venpris. Players still having trouble with the colors, I guess. Not really sure what's going on. Team colors are just hard, man.
Congratulations to Zudinator for winning North America tournament. Well done. Unlucky for Pez, but he won United States Cup match number 1. So well done.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Pez has been on a run, winning 4WC Grand Finals of NAT on a team that's favored to get top 4, I would say,
easily
in USC, if not better. Like, I would not be surprised to see them get top 3. I would not be surprised to see them win. If things fall in their favor. Like, that would just not be a shock. So, yeah, Pez is on a streak this summer, man. But Zudi's still too strong, I guess.
She broke a 3-year loss streak to US players, man. Like, Utami 2 years in a row, Rectagon last year, finally getting it in.
Oh, man.
We love to see it. Unlucky for United States moment, but you know what? Canada's also North America, so we shall concede. It is very close at the start of this map. It is not much to break on here yet, though the map doesn't get much more difficult towards the ending. It's very similar patterning to this throughout the entire duration. We do have another overmod on Colorado. Marie going to be taking the Hidden Hard Rock, a different kind of overmod, but this is like a preference hidden overmod.
Yeah, I don't think HDHR on one player counts as an overmod in the same way. It's not like you have all 3 players running mods. That would be the real overmod. Like, yeah. I guess technically it's mod advantage by, like, what is that, 0.06?
It's a preference overmod,
it's just not a huge deal. Big story here, Type Diamond down at 90% accuracy, everybody else at 96 or better, but that's a huge run of hundreds for a couple members of Colorado, so their act just drops off a cliff, and that score is flickering. It is a dead center halfway through.
I have zero respect for any player that just middled that stream. Marie.
It's Marie! The HDHR break, man, the preference hidden.
The good
on the Hard
news
Rock
for
player.
Colorado, though, is that Marie had decent AC, which means that miss is not going to be as crippling as if someone like Venpris missed, because that would be really bad, especially if Type Diamond misses in any of these sections for Michigan. This accuracy will cripple their team score. It's so close. It's like 150K between the two teams. They need a break from Michigan to come out right now, and I don't know if it's going to happen. The map is winding down. All the intensity has left the map, and that break on Marie right at the ending on the hidden Hard Rock, while it could have saved them, unfortunately will mean the demise of Colorado. For the first break point of this match, it will be Michigan dropping a three-way FC at the ending. They simply cannot do it. No team can three-way this map at all. There's always one miss. But a confident win for Michigan there into the ending. 250,000 score off of the one singular break from Colorado there, even though I think they may have lost that on AC as well right there. I don't know. Type Diamond would have made that very close with that low accuracy at 90%, but that's a break point for Michigan, and that's match point for Michigan, and that's the dangerous scenario that we talked about earlier, right? Once we get 3 maps each there, you let a break point up after that point, and well, now you need to win 2 consecutive maps to get to tiebreaker if you are Colorado.
That is a pretty clutch break point for Michigan to pull off there on the type of map that really going in felt like it could go either way. I mean, it ended up being a 255K win, but it was closer than that almost the entire way through. And this is a situation where it's actually kind of nice to have first pick. You go up 4-2 with a break point, and you get an instant match point on your own selection, and you go into DT3, which you picked DT1 a little bit ago and won it by over 500K. So you go into DT3, which is essentially just a DT1 that's a bit faster. And I think you're in what feels like maybe a decent spot if you're Michigan.
This is Michigan's opportunity to close this out in round of 32 confidently. They won DT1. DT3 is very, very similar to DT1 in terms of its complexity. Very simple. DT3 is just basically what DT1 used to be. It's just burst, speed, and aim for a DT pick. So this is going to be extremely comfortable for Michigan. Now, something to note is that this map will probably be very comfortable for Colorado as well. So Michigan really needs to leverage the fact that they had that big tricky Pugster area duo on DT1 and hope that that carries them through DT3 as well.
Yeah, I think you are just operating under the assumption that the way you played on DT1 will carry over. I think that's exactly what you have to be doing here. Just say, we had area, we had tricky Pugster, we have these really good mechanics players. We have Relax Nate, who I'm sure has some good scores on this, in practice and stuff. A pretty comfortable skill set for him, too. I know he's been playing a fair amount of, 10.3 basic aim DP stuff lately. So that roster should be pretty good. Is this going to be Dark Scrap? Is this Dark Scrap over Tricky Pugster on this? Surely not.
Whoa.
I'm sure that's not actually, right? No. Okay, yeah. Look, there was no way that was the player, and it indeed was not.
Unfortunate for Dark Scrap will not be making their DT appearance.
Crust of Cinnamon Twist +1. The +1 in question. Who was in for the previous? Hang on, scrolling. It was Crest of Cinnamon Twist and Jula. It's going to be Venpris this time. Oh boy. Well, big moment here for both teams. Michigan looking to close this out and advance to the round of 16, which, like I said, would be big for the program, man. You get to survive at least an extra week no matter what. You go into the winner of this goes into round of 16 and promptly probably gets comfortably handled by NorCal, but then they go into, losers round 2 and maybe get a winnable matchup there. Who knows? So, always better to win than to lose, regardless of the matchup that's coming in the winner's bracket. See if Michigan can lock in for another DT pick here. or if Colorado can steal away a breakpoint and try to force tiebreak on their own pick.
This is the final stand here for Colorado on Michigan's pick in order to stay in this match. If they win this, they will have their own pick in order to force tiebreaker. And I'd say that if Colorado's able to take this one, I think that we may see tiebreaker here because there's plenty of maps left in the pool for Colorado to pick from. But it would have to be the Breakpoint and Crestive and Cinnamon Twist both finding drops. That is absolutely tragic. But it's
not,
Area
though.
and Relaxed Nate.
I was going to say, it's immediately no longer tragic. With Nate and Area both breaking right after, Michigan not able to make anything of that double reset for Colorado, and you still have Vempress to match Tricky Pugster. So this is just going to be a reset. There's another break from Crestive, not going to be a huge deal. Combo's relatively similar, so it is going to be Michigan holding a tiny lead, but I mean, basically it's dead even at this point, halfway through already.
This is do or die for Tricky Pugster and Venpress right now. If either of them break right now, they could be the one to change the direction of this map for their teams. It's higher accuracy for Venpress right now. Tricky Pugster has been consistent in their DT performance this entire match so far, and they're looking to have a repeat of it right now. It's better supporting combos for Michigan. That second break from Crestive really doing enough damage to keep this in favor of Michigan by 100,000. And if all else stays the same, this will go in favor of Michigan on that accuracy as well. 97 for Crestive and Cinnamon Twist compared to full 98s for Michigan. Venpress can only do so much with that 99 right now. And as the map comes to a close, it's going to stay at 100,000 score right now. No misses from either side. And if Michigan hasn't broken thus far, I don't imagine that
They did
will be enough. Well,
They did though! No!
Wait,
They
no, I don't think
blundered!
there's enough time. No, I don't
No,
think
there is
enough
enough time.
Gosh. It's going to
They
be the last
blunder
one.
it. Michigan throws it.
What?
And Colorado is going to take it and run in the ending.
Huh?
Michigan just
What?
tosses the match over. Colorado break point, and it is 4-3 Michigan. Colorado their own pick to force tiebreaker. Oh, you hate to see it, man. The full meltdown. The full meltdown for Team Michigan there in the last couple hundred combo when they had every opportunity to close the match out. And that was the fastest lobby leave you will ever see from poor Relaxed Nate. But man, Colorado clutch it out, and they will have the opportunity to maybe go TB.
Dark Scrap freaking just, I don't know what he's doing right now. He's desperately trying to get in the heads of Colorado right now because he knows the scenario that they're about to go into. And there it is, Hidden 2. Colorado, they looked so good on Hidden 1 earlier. I mean, they won that map by 800,000 score. Now, I would say personally, Hidden 2 is probably the most difficult map in the pool. Flow aim hidden with cut streams and rhythm changes is such a difficult skill set to be good at. So if we've got good hidden players on the side of Colorado that are ready to rock this map out, then I fear for Michigan on this pick, and I am looking forward to tiebreaker right now as Colorado tries to close it out on a skill set that they have proven that they have an advantage on. And here it is, it's Harlequin.
Yeah, this is, after the way the Hidden 1 went, you gotta figure that this is Colorado favored. I just don't, there's no real other way to put it.
Hugely favored.
Colorado just looked so much better on that first Hidden pick that we saw earlier.
This is going to be unbelievable for Michigan to try and win this map. I don't see any way that Michigan wins this map if Colorado has maintained their performance from the Hidden 1. Now, Hidden 2, like you mentioned earlier, very different skill set. I also agree with you. The flow aim rhythm change Hidden is quite different from the slightly more aim favored, like jump aim favored flow aim that existed in Hidden 1. However, being good at Hidden is usually something that is pretty solid across the board in terms of how confident people are. So Colorado having an 800,000 score gap on Hidden 1 generally means that I would say Michigan just isn't comfortable at hidden rather than Colorado needing to be comfortable across multiple skill sets. So we've only got a couple seconds left before this map starts. And as we go into Harlequin, Colorado to make their final stand into tiebreaker here.
And I think this is a good place to be making that stand, as we have discussed. And really, all that's left is to play the map. Like, we just got to get going on this one and see what happens at this point. All the discussion, all the prep in the world that you could possibly do doesn't mean anything. You got to play the map and see what happens. Where is our MP start? I need the map to occur.
Please, now.
Golf.
T1G needs this.
I mean,
yes, I agree. Him.
I need this. I need this Michigan. As a Michigan fan, I need this. As a fan of OSU, tiebreaker would be sick. As a fan of Michigan, please God, don't go to tiebreaker and lose it. This is a rough spot to be in as somebody who does his best not to be too biased.
I require a tiebreaker instantly.
Our second tiebreaker, it would be our second tiebreaker of the week. I think we only had one in round 32 last year.
I would love that.
We still have like the majority of the matches left to come as well. I think we still have like 9 more matches or something. So plenty more opportunities as a couple of the really one-sided matchups have already occurred. Now we're going to have a bunch that should be pretty close. But we'll see. Not a super long pick here. Already a quarter of the way in. No breaks as of yet. 250 combo, 260 combo for everybody.
Here comes the rhythm changes. Darkstrap glider breaks on nothing. Oh, but crested. Here's the rhythm change. Here we go. The first set of the 1-6 coming in. Big rhythm change section coming at this next part here. This is really where the map starts to kick up in difficulty.
Can we talk about Michigan ACK advantage real quick, by the way? Venpress down at 96 for a bit there. Oh, but Plunger with the big drop.
Yeah, this is a combo game map right here. As long as this holds on Painted Koala and Justice right now, Crestive gonna make this difficult for Colorado.
Him breaking doesn't matter as long as Venpress and Justice hold. Those two on the double FC are what is more important since they do have the combo advantage. Not by a whole lot, though. This lead is very, very slim.
Tricky Pugster could keep this one down here for Michigan as long as these accuracies stay the same right now. But any combo break on Michigan is send this score flying over to Colorado with that double FC going right now. Crestive really does need to start holding a bit more combo, though.
Right as you say that, he breaks again.
Yeah, he needs to start holding. This is going to be dangerous. Blendra luckily finding a break.
Oh, wait, Koala. And Justice, the double FC breaks! And Michigan is poised. Will we see 3 straight break points to end this match off? Michigan can run away with this in the ending. Tricky Pugster does break, but Darkscrap still holding. No combo for Colorado.
Oh,
this might be Michigan. It's 200K.
It's Darkscrap all the way into the finish. The 800 almost combo and the double break from Colorado tragically bringing this to a close with Tricky Pugster and Darkscrap both putting up 700,000, and Michigan will be advancing to the winners bracket round of 16.
The clutch performance there. Tricky Pugster, the 773K, and Darkscrap bringing in the 700K with a big combo at the ending into the, again, instant lobby leave. Guy, you won. Why are we doing the instant leave? Come on, man. But that is going to do it, man. Michigan get the win, clutching it out to avoid the tiebreaker, which I don't even know, man. That could have gone either way, but it's not meant to be. And Michigan advance onward with that win, 5-3, sending Colorado down into losers bracket round 1 next week, which is going to be a scary place to be. But I think this Colorado team looks strong enough to at least get through a round of losers. You've got to think. Michigan, they get NorCal for their trouble. So, good luck, have fun. But Colorado gets Connecticut. That's definitely, for them, I think, a pretty winnable one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one for them. Unfortunate. That was a double S rank, by the way, from Colorado into the ending of that map. What tragic slider breaks at the end of Harlequin there. But this was a crazy close match, as expected, between our 16th and 17th seed. Unfortunately for Colorado, no upset to be had in the round of 32. And hopefully for them, no upset in the round of 16 as well. Michigan, like you mentioned, going to be going up against NorCal, one of the strongest teams in the tournament and our #1 seed this year. So a bit of a rough bracket start for them, but nonetheless another week of competition as this match comes to a close. And we are certainly not done with matches today.
Yeah, we have a big evening of matches in front of us. Half an hour's time over on the second stream. It's going to be Florida versus Alabama. Half an hour after that starts off a back-to-back matches on the main stream. It's going to be Texas versus Kentucky, followed up by Stateless versus Nevada. Then you have the late night block double matches at 2 and 3 UTC, and another match at 3:45 UTC. So plenty of matches left this evening. Make sure you are following both this stream and the B stream so that you can be notified when they go live and watch the matches as they occur, because we are going to be streaming all of those, and it's going to be a long and busy night full of what hopefully will be some more exciting matches. I know this was an exciting one, so time will only tell if the others live up to it. But I have been this one guy. He has been Chillier Pair. Congratulations to Michigan on the win. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys on the other side of just a little break as the Sunday portion of USC Round of 32 rolls onward.